2017 Regional World Meeting of Popular Movement. Somebody say yes! Woo!
Me and my brother, we used to wear the same size clothes. And so if I had these pants on today, my brother would have them on tomorrow. And we were taught never to take nothing from nobody. And so one day we come into work and the homie in the front, he says, hey, Father Gray wants to talk to you guys. And I'm like thinking we're in trouble, right? We get in there, we sit down. He gives us 2 Sears cards and he says, go buy your guys some clothes. We're like, nah, we're cool. He's like, go buy your guys some clothes. I look over at my little brother and my little brother's in tears. And I'm like, what's wrong, dog? Ever since he was little, I would tell him, don't cry, don't show weakness in front of anybody, you know? I look over at my little brother and I go, what's wrong with you? You know, why are you crying? And he goes, why do they care about us, homie? He couldn't understand it. He couldn't wrap his mind around the concept that people actually cared about other people. And so I think the conversation that we're having is for us not to be of service, but to stand in kinship, to stand in awe at what the poor have to carry, and not stand in judgment at how they carry it. For us to see one another. And that's what we're doing on the organizing side right now at Homeboy Industries. Building relationships is the most important thing.
If criminalization and incarceration of black bodies is the solution, then what is the problem? If deportation of our brown brothers and sisters is the solution, then what is the problem? If those who were integral to the creation of this country as we know it are not welcome to enjoy the fruit of their labor, then what does that say about our humanity? And more importantly, my friends, as people of faith, what does it say about our God?
Do you reject the glamour of evil and refuse to be mastered by sin? This question was once an optional part of the renewal of one's baptismal promises in the Catholic Church. And that notion of the glamour of evil is something that bears reflection by each one of us. Metaphorically speaking, there is no doubt that evil does glamorize itself. Amen? It dresses itself up and presents itself as something that it is not to capture our attention in our actions. Racism is evil. Racism is a sin. The answer to the question of how we transform structures that exclude people is the simple answer, the task of the church, to continue working on the conversion of human hearts, something that the church is uniquely positioned to do.
Vengo ante ustedes como madre, como mujer y muy orgullosa trabajadora del hogar, porque no solo les enseñamos la unión familiar, sino también nuestro idioma, el español, y los adoptamos y amamos como si fueran nuestros hijos.
Our brothers and sisters are hurting and afraid. We have children in our Catholic schools who are terrified, as you all know. Any day, they could come home from school and find their parents gone, deported. And my friends, it is not right that people are being forced to live this way. Our struggles, my friends, is beyond politics. Our cause is the noble cause of human dignity, the realization that all men and women are children of God, that their lives are sacred, no matter what the color of their skins or the country of origin or how they came to this country. A person is still a person.
69 years ago, I was a refugee too. Czechoslovakia was in ruins. The communists had taken over. My parents gave up everything so that my brother and I could have a life. People wouldn't move towards unemployment. People don't move towards starvation. People don't move towards repression. They move because there's hope.
In my city,
which is I think the 7th richest economy in the country, there's 6,000 people sleeping in the street every single night. Every single night. What have I done about it? What are we doing about that? We are here to tear down the walls. Not that wall in the frontera. It's not about that wall. It's about the wall of indifference that we have with each other. That's the wall. That's the wall that we're being challenged to tear down.
I look at the different bishops that are here today, and we've all tried different ways of trying to make justice present in our midst. Bishop Blair, who's been so active in the Valley and what it means to have justice in the Valley, and Archbishop Gomez, who is so committed on the cause of immigration. Archbishop Corleone, who started and supported a program to help those who are victims of murder. Bishop Fabre, who has spoken to us and lived out what it means for race. There is no greater charter for this gathering taking place here in Modesto in these days than the simple but rich architecture of these 3 words: see, judge, and act. Yet these words, which carry with them such a powerful history of social transformation around the world, in the service to the dignity of the human person, must be renewed and re-examined in every age and seen against the background of those social, economic, and political forces in each historical moment. In Catholic teaching, the very rights which we have discussed this morning and are being denied in our society to large numbers of those who live in our nation are intrinsic human rights in Catholic teaching. The right to medical care, to decent housing, to the protection of human life from conception to natural death, of the right to food, of the right to work. Catholic teaching sees these rights not merely as points for negotiation, provided only if there is an excess in society after the workings of the free market system accomplish their distribution of the nation's wealth. Rather, these rights are basic claims which every man, woman, and family has upon our nation as a whole. And I want you to think of someone you have known that our economy has killed, a senior who can't afford medicine or rent, a mother or father who are dying working 2 and 3 jobs and really dying because they even then can't provide for their kids, young people who can't find their way in the world in which there is no job for them, and they turn to drugs and gangs and suicide. Think of one person you know that this economy has killed. Now mourn them. And now call out their name. Let all the world know that this economy kills.
When the emergency manager made the decision to use the Flint River as our drinking water source, we were already on our way to paying one of the highest water rates in the nation. The decision to draw from the Flint River was motivated by the desire to build a water pipeline to provide unfiltered water for corporate interests. After the switch, people knew that there was something wrong.
We are actually all islanders, and I hope we understand that. We come from islands that have very limited resources, but sustainable resources. We are on the island, our common home, Mother Earth. If we understood how islanders think, we can take care of our common home in a much better way.
This is your event. That is not something that we want to take away from you. We came to accompany you, to support and all. The Catholic Church believes that the joys and the hopes, the grief and the anguish of people of our time, especially those who are poor or afflicted, these also are the joys and the hopes and the grief and the anguish of all followers of Christ. Period. We come to express solidarity with humanity in its walk and search for the basic human virtues, which makes the life of all of us dignified.